All right. What's up, guys? My name is Jeremy Wilson. I work here at camp as the food service manager.
And I am David Thompson, and I work in the recreation department, so get to help out with all the fun recs, which we are working on 3 new recs, one of them being the new and improved Goliath swing, which we have been playing with all day. So we're sending students through, sending staff through and training staff all of today, really all this week. So we're going to be ready to go for the summer.
Man, you are so much cooler than I am. I'll keep you alive all summer though with food, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Jeremy plays a vital role.
Awesome. Well, like you guys heard probably just a few minutes ago, today we're going to be talking about, or during this session, we're going to be talking about how you guys can grow personally, spiritually, in your lifelong journey and with the Lord, and professionally here, particularly in the 3 months that you'll be here for the summer. David's going to start us off because he has been on summer staff much more recently than I have, to talk a little bit about his experience on summer staff, touching on these areas. And then I'll talk about it some, and then we'll open up for some questions.
Absolutely. So I really just wanted to share with you guys about these personal growth, because Snowbird, my first summer on the summer staff, was in the summer of 21, and it was the most influential summer of my life so far. And I just want to share with you why, like the ways that I grew and developed through those just 13 weeks that have still made an impact on my life to this day, and that are going to continue to make an impact on my life. So I just want to share with you guys like the different ways that just one summer can be influential really on the rest of your life. And I'm going to build off the last session with John Rouleau and Jake, where they were talking about the core values. And Jake made a closing comment about how the core values that are central to what Snowbird's about, and just the DNA of this culture, and how those are things that you're able to apply going home. So I want to just talk and share some personal stories and experiences of growing in these personal core values that Snowbird has, and how I was able to apply those, after the summer. So the first one is gospel driven. This really underlies all the other core values. If you're not gospel driven, it's going to be hard to follow the other 4. But being gospel driven is so much more than just sharing the gospel. Yes, that's always the goal, is to share the gospel, but there'll be so many times when you're working with a student and you're ministering to them, and all you're doing is just sitting there, at the lunch table talking with them. And it's something you're really not that interested in, but that kid is super passionate about it. And so you're just keeping that conversation going. And then there's other times where you're hooking a kid in to the zip line, and you're like, this is the 8th time I've done this. I'm ready. It's raining. I'm ready to go get a warm shower and get some dry clothes on. But you're like, okay, why am I having these intentional conversations with students? Why am I hooking them into the zip line? Why am I cleaning these bathrooms time and time again? Well, what underlies all those activities is that we're gospel driven, and that's our focus. And so what that teaches us, and what that taught me, was like, okay, why am I doing everything that I'm doing? After the summer, why am I getting up early in the morning to read my Bible? Why am I going out and sharing the gospel with others? Why am I so concerned with discipling others? It's because I want to be gospel driven. I want to have those, you learn that, to have those intentional conversations with students so that you can share the gospel with them later in share groups. You learn to run them through rec safely and to have fun with them on rec, because you know that later you're going to have a share group with that student, and you're going to be able to explain the gospel to that student. So as you learn and develop that ability while at camp, you're able to go back to college or to your hometown and be able to be super intentional with others, with the mind that I want to share the gospel with this person. So whatever I have to do to allow that door to be open for the gospel, I'm going to do. And so that was one of the really big growths that I had. One of my first experiences that Snowbird taught me. And then it also teaches you to just be gospel driven in your conversations with other believers. So you're going to be working alongside staff, and you're going to be like, okay, we're talking about things, but it's just crazy how when you're in a group of believers who genuinely love the Lord and want to know more about him, how that conversation just continually is driven towards the gospel, driven through the work that Christ is and who God is. And so you're just going to be a part of that DNA here, and then you're going to learn and grow in that and be able to apply that when you go home. Also, Snowbird, and this is probably my favorite core value, is the relational aspect of Snowbird. Okay, so everything you do at Snowbird, you're going to be with others, and they love Jesus. They're believers. So it's awesome. So you're going to be on cleaning crews with other believers. You're going to be on rec crews with other believers. You're going to be ministering to students alongside other believers, to students who need to hear the gospel. Everything you do, from serving lunch to running rec to riding the bus, you're going to be with other believers ministering to other people who need to hear the gospel. And it's such a cool opportunity to learn to be like, okay, how can I encourage my fellow believer, but also how can I share the gospel with a student who needs to hear about what Christ has done? And so you learn, like, okay, how do I take a 5-minute bus ride and just be relational and intentional with this individual? What does that look like? How do I make the little moments matter with other people? So you learn how to do those things. And then when you go home, you're like, man, instead of just focusing on myself and, just opening up my phone and wasting my time, you know what? I know that it's valuable to interact with other people, to encourage them, to be encouraged by them, and to minister to them. So you're learning all these ways to be relational, and you're able to take that home and be relational with other people. Also, you learn to be servant-hearted. And this is one of the, like, just the hidden values at Snowbird, is as you're doing, there's so much happening. There's so much happening, from running rec to cleaning to serving to leading share groups. You can always help someone else out. And so looking for those ways to be servant-hearted is something that I learned about from my first summer at Snowbird. Was, okay, how can I serve the people that I'm working alongside? I said earlier in relational that everything you do at Snowbird, you're always with someone else. And those people can always be served. And so you learn to realize opportunities to serve others well. And when you're serving others well, they're serving others well, the whole body is just functioning as it should. So as you run rec, okay, I'm going to fill my water bottle up, I'm going to go take that other person. So it's just those little things that add up over time, and you learn to develop a care for others, a servant heartedness, where it's like, okay, it's not about me, but I'm going to help the whole team out here. And going home, I realized, like, hey, this is a lot bigger than just me. I want to invest in the other people that are around me. I'm going to look for ways to serve other people. Also at Snowbird, it's just go, go, go. And it is awesome and it is fun, but it's hardworking. You have to be hardworking. That's another one of our core values that John Rillo touched on. But this hardworking is, I consider myself to be a hardworking person before I came during the summer, but the amount of the intensity of the summer will just create in you a desire to work hard and to go home and work hard. Because regardless of if you stay after the summer and work at Snowbird, or if you go home, you're going to have to work at school or on a job. You're going to have to work. And so learning at Snowbird to work hard alongside others is going to be so impactful, because you really don't have an opportunity to slack off. You have to work hard, and it's going to teach you how to work hard when you're tired, when it's not always that fun, when you're doing the same thing over and over again. And so you're going to be able to work hard, and you're going to work through those situations to be able to go home and apply those. And also, we're positive. We're having fun doing the hard things. And I just love that, like, the hard situations where it's like, it's a rainy day, or I've done this for 8 weeks already. But Snowbird, like, it never ceases to amaze me how always someone's finding something fun to do. It's funny, like at the 3-man swing, somebody will be super hot, and if they've been out in the sun for the whole day, you know what? They'll just go hop in the creek and they'll find positivity. They're not going to complain about it being hot. They're going to go just have fun. They're going to go and just rejoice, like John was saying. They're going to bring joy back into the situation. And I kind of think, to kind of sum up my experience with these, being a part of Snowbird and being impacted by these 5 core values, another aspect that I really learned a lot about is taking initiative in these things. So whether, you're wanting to grow and being gospel driven, servant hearted, relational, hardworking, or positive, or you have some specific goal that you want to grow in during the summer, Snowbird is going to teach you how to take the initiative, how to be active, and how not to be passive. Responsibility, opportunities are all around the summer camp, all around Snowbird. And it's up to you to seize those opportunities. And so I learned at Snowbird that if you wait, you can try to just be passive, but that's not going to work. You're going to have to be active. You're going to have to be seeking out how can I serve others? How can I be positive? How can I disciple these students? Snowbird isn't gonna just teach you to be passive. You're gonna learn to be active in pursuing these core values and developing yourself, and not to have a consumer mentality, but to actively seek those things out. So that's my experience and how I was grown in my first summer. And Jeremy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great, David. Thank you so much. And I can concur. I worked on summer staff in 2013, and those experiences were very much the same for me. I want to talk very practically about specific things that you're going to be doing that can grow you in the professional, spiritual, and personal area. Professionally. So before I was at Snowbird, I worked for an insurance company where you were suit and tie every day. You walked in, you sat at a cubicle, and you were on either Zoom meetings, phone calls, or in meetings in classrooms all day. So I can tell you, your experience at Snowbird will not grow you in that particular professional setting. However, there are ways that you learn to be more of an adult human at Snowbird. So a lot of you guys are between the ages of 18 to 24 years old, and you're coming here. There's a lot for us to learn in that time of our lives as we learn to develop ourselves, as we learn to interact with people, with other people in maturity. And one of the biggest ways you're going to learn how to be professional is in running recreation. The reality is most of our recreation, you are literally holding someone's life in your hand, whether it be zip lining or the new Goliath swing. I can imagine there's one person right in front of you, and you're about to shove them off of a platform, and they're going to drop how far?
Right now it's 34 feet.
34 feet towards the ground. Don't imagine, actually, just you don't want to set that up wrong. You want to be professional about the way that you do things. You want to be attentive to the way that you're working, and you're going to be interacting with all kinds of different people, whatever your rec is, and you want to be professional in that rec, and you learn how to do it well anywhere you go. And so that is something you want to take with you anywhere you go in life. You want to be the best person at whatever you're doing. You want to be that when you leave that particular role or job or whatever, that people don't, when you leave, they miss you in that role. Even if it's a role that you don't love and aren't thrilled to be doing, it needs to be something that when you go, someone says, I didn't want to lose that person there. Yeah. Instead of being like, nah, we can replace them, they want to be like, man, that's going to be hard to replace. You want to seem like the unicorn in the workplace when you leave somewhere. And so you get to learn that here at Snowbird. We take recreation incredibly seriously. So you're going to be able to learn how to perform at high levels like that. David touched on this in a few ways, but you're going to learn how to be a leader. You're going to learn how to take initiative, and you're going to learn how to do things that aren't being done. Yep. And that's something we're going to really encourage you guys to do is to seek out and meet needs. Don't just meet the status quo of, well, this is what's in my job description. This is what I'm supposed to do. You get the opportunity to step up, see a need, and fill a need. And people who have some of the most success, both in their professional life and their time here at Snowbird, are people who meet those needs and seek opportunity and seek responsibility. You're also going to obviously get a ton of time to interact with students, but also the youth pastors that come with those students, and being able to engage them in conversation and to carry a conversation with someone who, it could be, not all of them will be, but could be much older than you with much more life experience. To be able to actually hold a conversation with them and spend time with them will grow you professionally, as well as you learn how to talk to people and learn how to pay attention to people and listen to what they have to say, and also have things to offer to the conversation. And your job here is multifaceted. David said that too. You guys are going to learn, hopefully you'll really need to learn how to take responsibility for your own schedule and your own time management. We ask summer staff to be Superman and Superwoman. There are so many things that you're going to be responsible for that we're going to ask you guys to do, from and you've probably heard about a lot of it today, and you'll continue to hear about it, but from serving meals to cleaning bathrooms to running rec to carrying relationships with your students being the most important thing, to helping with skits or media or what flipping buildings with chairs and moving this and moving that and doing everything under the sun. We're asking you to do a lot, and you're going to be able to grow in your ability to manage your own time and be the chief of your own schedule and not just let things come by day to day. And that's going to influence your personal life, or excuse me, your professional life back home when you learn how to do that. And last, in the professional realm, you're going to learn customer service. Going back to everything that I just said, your ability to serve the people that are here. We are here to do ministry to them, and a part of ministry is serving them and loving them well. And so you'll grow in your ability to do customer service, see the needs of our guests when we invite them, and love them well while they're here. As far as practical ways you can grow spiritually, this is probably one of the only times in your life where you will have an absolute consistent schedule every single day for 3 months. Life doesn't look like that. One day you'll get married, you'll have kids, maybe you won't, but you'll have a job. Maybe your job changes. It's not a Monday to Friday job. Maybe it's an every other day job. You're not going to have a consistent schedule like this maybe ever again. I don't think I've had anything so consistent as this for so long. And while that can be hard because that schedule is really, really full, you're going to be able to learn how to build habits within a schedule. You have a really easy schedule, not easy, excuse me, a really reliable schedule to do that in, where you know what you're doing every day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning, to where you can build habits into your life. And so the hope is that you guys will build habits of reading, praying, spending time in solitude. That's incredibly important. As when you're here at camp, if you're here at camp for the summer, you are going to be with people. David said it with being relational, you're always doing something with someone else. And that's really important. And it's really awesome that we get to do that. But when the Lord became man on earth, he sought solitude, and you're going to be able to learn how to fight for that time of solitude. You don't have a whole lot of time off when you're here. Really, your weekends is the time you get, and the time that you're shutting your eyes. So you're going to have to seek and fight for that, but it can be a valuable lesson learned for your spiritual life for the rest of your life, and how to seek that out. You're going to need to rely on the Lord. There are going to be days that you wake up and the first thing you say to the Lord is, please help me get from point A to B right now, because I'm so exhausted. I don't think I can make it. And the Lord will be kind to you, and he will do that for you. And you'll learn what it actually is to rely on him for physical strength, nonetheless, your spiritual and mental well-being. Another great thing, I kind of thought about how I wanted to say this, but you almost have forced accountability. Don't let that sound as bad as it sounds, but you're in these groups with other people that everyone, and it's been said multiple times today, but everyone is working towards the same thing. Everyone is here for the same goal, and that's to make the gospel of Jesus Christ known to the nations and to these students that are here. And so you get the opportunity to be held accountable by your brothers or your sisters in your groups, that you're community groups that you're in the friendships that you build. Don't waste that, because it's a really unique time that you get to, again, develop habits and work through things together and build each other up. And of course, the most important thing, I think, in the spiritual realm, or one of the biggest ways that you're going to grow, is your ability to share the gospel and your confidence in sharing the gospel. And we're going to work with you in that. We're going to train you in that. We're going to spend time with you talking about that. But you can talk about it all you want. It's until you practice these things, that it's when you practice these things that you're really growing them. And you'll get to do that for weeks upon weeks. And then personally, I kind of think the spiritual and professional, you're going to grow in personal ways. It kind of overlaps, obviously, creating habits, challenging yourself, but a big way that you're going to be able to grow personally is learning humility. We naturally think about ourselves. We're naturally looking, what's easiest for me, what's best for me, how can I get what I need? And in these 3 months at camp, you're going to get a lot of opportunity to think of yourself less. And to think of others more, and how to serve them, and how to find, instead of, man, it'd be really nice to take this 20-minute window that I have to go take a cat nap. But instead you could say, no, where are my students at? I'm going to go find my campers. I'm going to go hang out with them. I'm going to go love them. Or, you know what? I remember so-and-so had a lot of stuff to do with something in the metal building. I can go help him wrap that up. Just little things like that, finding ways to serve each other. It's 3 months. Lay it out there for the Lord. The Lord will be kind and he'll grow you in all of these ways, professionally, spiritually, and personally. So it's about time for us to open up into our Q&A time. I don't know how any of the technology works, but those people on that side of the camera will, I think, tell me and David if you have any questions that we can answer. And it could be anything about professional, spiritual, or personal development, or anything from the other sessions that you heard. I might answer it wrong, but you can ask me that question. Oh, great.
Sweet.
David, do you want to do the giveaway?
Okay, so we have the swag bags. We got stickers. We've got a Snowbird mug. We've got a Tubi. And what else is a part of this?
Everything.
Everything? Oh, sweet. Okay.
Everything.
Oh,
right
we
here.
got this. And we have this 5-panel hat right here. The classic Snowbird Nalgene every summer. The shirt that you've seen Jake Schwarting wear all day.
The same shirt.
Yeah,
He doesn't have that shirt on right now.
Yes.
We took it from.
Yes,
Kidding.
so this is Jake Schwarting shirt. And then a notebook. So
And David has a pin here if you also want that.
I'll let you have my pin too. Sweet. So these are the things we're going to be giving away right now.
And personally, I think this is the best giveaway that I've seen. I've only seen 2, but
You're getting so much of everything. Right now.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, so the first person to comment about just one of the ways that you can grow at camp is this giveaway.
Sweet. I'm digging that. Oh,
Mike, you've already won it.
sweet. Okay, also these stickers that they're coming out with now, they're legendary. If you don't win this giveaway, just go to the snack shack and buy some. They're worth it.
There's also, from what I understand, a black market sticker. I don't know the right guy to reach out to. Will James.
Will James?
Will James. What did you answer? What did he say? Personally. He said he can personally grow. That was good, Will James.
Well,
real
awesome.
good. Ooh,
Dang.
man, that was a good one. It's good. It's good.
So questions.
If any. Perfect.
Okay.
That's great.
And
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for letting us talk to you guys a little bit about this. Hopefully we meet you soon. Oh, really
Oh.
nice question.
Jeremy, I think you should answer that.
Skill, determination, and hard work, and blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, that's what it
Blood,
takes,
sweat, and
man.
tears. Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate getting to hang out with y'all.
Go apply.